Ah, I just finished my registration in an hour and I still couldn't get into EC330.
And I just finished my registration in 15 milliseconds. The power of registration magic. Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hello, I'm Sadman.
And this is Registration Magic. So first, would you like to go over the front end?
Sure, I'll go over the front end. The front end is, we wanted it to be a user-friendly and intuitive interface that just made sense with no instructions, none of that, and it looked better than the monstrosity that's Student Link. It utilizes Flutter and a couple of Flutter imports, such as Hive as a local database. Flutter and the front end looks like this. So you can delete, you can delete classes, you can add classes, and you can determine what time you want for the classes to be scheduled.
And once you define that time, what happens is using Flutter's HTTP module, it will send this to the Flask API on the back end.
So I'll show the API that Nathan wrote. It's on the save. So I wrote an on save function where once you save the time you want, Nathan's API is implemented. Nathan, is there any file that you want me to go to for your backend?
Yes, let's just go to main PY to go over the overall structure. So basically what it's doing is it's running a couple threads with a couple of asynchronous loops such that you can schedule different registration actions at different times and receive all the information from the Flask API. And it records this using some custom data structures I created to have a course data structure, a semester class, and a user class, each containing the other respectively. User contains semester, contains courses. So then once we define all the parameters, all the semester, the courses within the semesters, we simply go through and generate the URLs, or rather URIs, necessary to send directly to Student Link to get our registration going. The only other thing, a little tidbit, is that you also need to capture the auth tokens for the person signed in, and you do that when you run the backend server as soon as it's open. So that's basically essentially what there is to it. I could talk a little more about the selected IDs, not to take too much time. Basically, the only other crucial piece of information is that there's a database called courseinfo.xls, and we use a, so basically this just has all of our course colleges, departments, numbers, etc. that are valid, and the associated selected ID that we use to send to Student Link to say, I want to register for this course. And that's it. That's registration magic.
All right, this is Registration Magic, our final project for EC327. It's an application that automatically registers you for your classes. I'll go ahead and start demoing it by running Flutter build Windows. And this will build the front end of the application. The front end is Flutter, utilizing Google Dart, and the back end is pure Python. Okay, build is finished. There is our executable file. To run the backend, all we have to do is go to the backend directory and run py main.py. I have it running, so there's nothing left to do. Now I can demonstrate registering for a class. Let's go ahead and log in. There we go. Okay. We have two classes here. Let's say I don't want to take either of them. So the user can delete classes they don't want, or they may change their mind on, and the user can add classes like this. Now, to demonstrate, as you can see, I do not have EK210A5. Yeah, so let's register for that class. Go ahead and reload the page to demonstrate that this is not fraud. And then we can go into, where is our app? There it is. Say eng EK210A5 with Professor Giles. There we go. Now let's say I want this to register me this year, at 7:06 p.m. right now. It's at 7:07 p.m. There we go. Let's check out the backend. So the backend is telling me I have to wait 23 seconds. And in the meantime, I can do anything. I can scroll the web. I can go out with friends, have some lunch, take a nap. If I schedule this for longer, what I'm trying to say is within this time, you can do whatever you want instead of having to scramble around Student Link and there we go. It has registered, no hands. It has registered me for EK210A5. Let's go check out. There we go. I am now registered. If the user wanted, I could have registered myself 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2 days, etc. from now, and it would have worked just the same. Yeah, that's registration magic.